Hi guys, welcome to Dead Sexy.
This week we are talking about hot takes on healing.
We're gonna do a fill in the blank, and then we're just gonna go 1, 2, 3 and spit out whatever. It's kind of like improv.
Yeah. Healing is, okay, ready? Healing is 1, 2, 3. Messy.
A pain in the ass.
Okay, period.
Okay, yes.
It is.
Okay.
It really fucking is.
Yeah, it's a pain in the fucking ass.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
healing culture romanticizes 1, 2, 3.
The glow up.
Continuously having to heal and it never ending.
I always say that.
I've known people who've been in therapy for years, and I'm like, what have we?
I've been in therapy since I was 8.
Okay, but there's some other people aside from you.
I'm like,
where their personalities become like
Yes.
healing and therapy. I
That-
think that's
yeah.
what I'm trying to say. It's not meant for me to understand, I suppose, so I should shut the fuck up.
this is going to be like, I digress. However, do you know what I can't stand?
What?
I can't stand when you have a friend who suddenly gets a life coach and all of a sudden they're like saying things and they're like, yeah, I just feel like the journey, it's all part of the journey and self-actualization and realizing that there's a lot of anger. I'm like, can you just level with me? Like, can we just have a fucking normal conversation?
Truly. I mean, you've got to start somewhere, and it's always interesting when your friends start therapy and they talk to you about, and also too, like, I've only really been in therapy for maybe 2 years collectively.
Yeah.
So I'm not one to talk.
Yeah.
But it's always interesting because it really does become their whole personality for a while.
Totally.
And you've got to just let them.
Let them.
And
And they'll start therapizing you. And I'm just like,
bitch.
I've spent so much of my life in therapy. I don't need someone else to therapize
I
me.
already know.
I know, and I'm avoiding it for a reason, so shut up.
Period. Okay, next.
If healing had a sound, it would be 1, 2, 3. Not me like hawking a loogie.
My silent screams.
The next one's a yes or no.
Okay.
All right.
Which one is it?
Can crying in the club count as shadow work? Honestly, I think whatever you want to be your shadow work is your shadow work. Go
Pop off, sister.
Crying in the club is really real.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I haven't been to the club in many years, but I imagine that if I went, whether I was processing or not, I would just cry because I was there.
I think I'd have to phone my friends because I don't think I was
Phone a friend.
probably sober for that to remember, but I'm sure I've cried in the
fair.
club before.
And therefore, you were doing shadow work.
Here we are.
Hot takes on healing. Some of these are going to be piping, I think.
Truly piping.
And some of them are going to be like lukewarm.
Let's get into it.
We've talked about this before. My first hot take on healing. And I don't think it should be a hot take, but I feel like it will be.
Okay.
I think that telling somebody everything happens for a reason after someone passes is a terrible fucking idea, and you should never say it, especially when the death is fresh. That's my hot take. Because I know a lot of people go to, oh, well, everything happens for a reason. And I believe that in some capacities. And maybe at some point I'll look back and believe that. I can't picture that for myself. But I had some people say that to me at the time. And I was like, what was, like, the Cardi B? I was like, what was the reason?
Not you
What was
whipping
the
out
reason?
your Cardi B personality.
Truly.
Hot take. I do say that a lot. I am guilty of it, and I'm pretty sure my friends have like wanted to murder me. I just think of the timing of all of my losses, and it feels like they couldn't have happened any sooner or any later.
What do you mean by that?
So the fact that my mom had a stroke a week before I turned 18.
Yeah.
I just imagine if my mom had like had a stroke sooner, let's say when I was 16 or maybe when I just turned 17, I would find out that my dad was married to a woman for 27 years, and like, because I wouldn't have like a legal guardian, right?
Oh.
If you think about it that way.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and then my mom dying like 2-3 months before I graduated. I mean, I don't know if there was like a reason for that. I think that was just the roll of the die timing thing. You know, my dad kind of passing maybe 10 months after that. I personally think she dragged him down with her.
Hot take.
Hot take. And, you know, I was 21 and I was kind of at the stage, like I started my first job probably.
I just realized that you said dragged him down. Like down.
Down under.
Down under.
Spooky.
Okay, period.
Or above, dragged him up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whichever.
Yeah.
Whatever you believe, you know.
Okay, sorry.
Like I was 21 and I just started my first job, and I remember being like, I just want to make my own money. I want to figure out my life, but I'm going to take it easy, because I was still financially dependent on my dad, but I just had that sense of like,
Yeah.
I think now is the time.
Yeah.
And thank God I got a job when I did, because I got hired during holiday season, and so they hire a lot of people, and I worked hard to stay, and I proved to be like a fairly decent employee, I'd like to think.
Yeah.
And then when he passed, I was lucky I had a job already. So I was like, okay, how can I become full-time? How can I make more? Like all this stuff. So I think about the timing of it all in that way. Like everything kind of happened for a reason. And also too, I was just starting out, at 18 and 21. So I was really questioning my place in the world and my values and my morals and who I wanted to be without the influence of my parents. And I don't think many people really take a moment to reflect on like who they are without their influences.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a really long journey. And how I ended up here today, again, I think is like, it's one decision after another. No right or wrong, because I don't think we can ever make a right or wrong decision. Maybe when it comes to a couple of fuckboys that you might have dated a little too long, but there's
I definitely have
always
some
a
wrong
reason.
decisions in there.
Yeah, But overall, like the timing just all kind of worked the way it should have in a weird way. Or maybe that's what I tell myself. But again, like you said earlier, it's always hard to see that in the moment when you're going through it. But I feel like there's always a reason.
You said that to me the other day. The way you said it, I was like, wow, that's really beautiful. You had said, if things hadn't happened the way they did, I wouldn't be who I am today, and I love who I am today. That struck me. I would have never thought to think about something so difficult in that way. I'm not there yet.
Right.
However, there have been things suggested to me about like why things may have happened the way they did that have resonated with me a bit. I haven't made that jump to be like everything happens for a reason yet.
Of course.
But my mindset has shifted a little bit away from being like so feet planted in the other end of it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I totally understand. And I think we're on a different timeline in our journeys. Like I'm almost 10 years out from losing my dad.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more for my mom, and you're about 3 years out.
Two. It just hit 2.
Holy shit.
I know.
I mean, it's actually astounding how you're so put together at the moment and how much you've overcome. No, truly, for 2 years. Because 2 years in, I just was like, maybe I should start therapy now.
I mean, I feel like I really swing the pendulum from being like put together to being completely unraveled and unhinged.
But that's the journey, and that's the process. Because you hate to hear that healing is non-linear, but it truly is. It's not a truth we just have to accept. Yeah. Hot take number 2: you don't have to forgive the dead. What are our thoughts?
Fully agree.
Oh,
fully agree with that.
Okay, expand.
So I am angry for a number of reasons, and I find myself still being angry a lot of the time. But for me, I feel so guilty about being angry.
Why?
Because he's dead.
Obviously, yes.
We all have demons. All of us. Who would I be to be like, judge someone's demons? He was the best. But that doesn't mean I'm not angry still.
Of course.
For a lot of things. I feel like we're taught growing up, for some reason, we're taught like, don't speak ill of the dead.
Yes.
And I don't think that anger is the same thing as speaking ill. This is going to sound really bad, but it's true. My grandpa, my dad's dad, she wasn't his wife, but they were together for like a really long time.
Yeah.
She was mean. Like she was a mean person. And I'm not going to amend that just because she's dead.
Yeah.
She treated my dad terribly. She treated my mom terribly. She was really rude to my brother. She tried to be rude to me. And I was like,
hold up, lady.
Sorry, wrong one. But like, just because she's passed, I'm not going to sit here and be like, she was so kind and da-da-da. She was a mean lady. But for some reason we're taught, or I was taught when I was younger, like you don't speak ill of the dead. Just because someone's dead doesn't mean they were a good person.
I think to be human is a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And we don't know what someone really goes through. And we never know someone's true story because we're not them, even though we might have a really good idea because we're not living in their existence.
Yeah.
I feel that way about my parents.
Yeah.
I still love my mom and dad. I've said before, my mom was my other half. She was my best friend. I have a lot of love for my dad. But they were fucking problematic. I have both mommy and daddy issues because I'm blessed. And that has been, I'm mad at them because I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like, you put your shit on me. I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
And here we are. And I think that happens to a lot of us, right? Where we carry the shit that our parents put on us, expectations, like the whole 9 yards. I don't have to get into it. But yeah, there are things that my mom, like, we were very different people, and we wanted very different things, and she wanted me to be an extension of her life that she didn't get to live, and all the things that she wanted to have that she never did. And I didn't really need all of that. I mean, I wanted a little bit of it, but like not the whole thing. And my dad, I mean, the fact that he was married for 27 years to this other woman, he even like apparently crafted fake divorce paper.
That is crazy work.
And not to my mom, but to like one of my half brothers' moms, and trying to string her along, I guess. Or I don't really know the context.
He was a
like
player.
Which is so funny because he's not like, you would look at me and be like, really him? Maybe there was charisma there that I wasn't aware of.
Oh my God, he was swinging that thing around.
But you know what? That man was so fucking complicated. I'm pretty sure. What's that Mean Girls reference where it's like Gretchen Wiener's hair is so big from all the
it's
secrets.
full of secrets.
Yeah. I think that man just like lived so many lies and lives that he just kind of couldn't keep up, and and manifested into like illness.
Yeah.
That might be a hot take.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, like, you know me, I believe in like hard sciences, but I also do believe in that.
I think that when you carry stress, you get sick.
Yeah.
Especially prolonged. And like, my mom had a stroke not because she was a chill person.
Yeah.
No, I mean, she had qualms with everything and everyone for quite some time, and like had high blood pressure, never addressed it. But she, you know, always would be like, I will always be here for you. And this bitch never took care of herself. So in a way, it felt like she purposely abandoned herself in her health. And that's how she ended up where she ended up. And so, of course, I was angry for a really long time. And now I'm kind of like, y'all, I'm too old and I'm too tired.
Fair. Okay, next hot take. I don't think that closure is a real thing.
Oh.
I think that closure is like a fantasy that we have in our minds, or for some reason, it's become this thing where we need closure from the other person. And I think getting that closure is so rare. Whether it's in a loss or like a breakup, you know?
Yeah.
Like, none of my breakups have ever had closure. And I think that this whole idea of closure or needing closure is kind of bullshit. And we have to find the closure within ourselves. Like, if it's a breakup and they did something disrespectful, like, the disrespect is the closure.
I think that could be applied in so many situations in death or relationships. And I think closure is something definitely that you choose for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think oftentimes we give it to the other person when we shouldn't. And I think when someone passes, that is a perfect example, because whether you have a great relationship or you don't, I think it's even harder when you don't have a great relationship or a complicated one and they pass. There are so many things unsaid. And it's very similar to a breakup, because there's so many things that maybe you could say and blow up their phone and kind of look psychotic. Or if you choose to take the high road, you're like, you know what? They're going to do them and I'm going to do me. And all I can do is control myself and my reaction. And so I'm just going to let that go. A breakup obviously is different, but it's still a grieving of a potential future you could have had with someone, especially in a relationship.
I feel like for me, losing my fiance, I was left with so many questions. Like, I just was like, I would love more time with him, but I would love 5 more minutes with him to like ask him all of these questions. And then I think of, for example, a breakup I had, like, you know, eons ago. Similarly, I had so many questions. In my experience in a breakup, you never get those answers. I saw somebody say this and I was like, this is genius. Going through a breakup or like being ghosted or whatever it is, and going back to ask the questions, it's like a snake biting you, and instead of sucking the poison out, you chase the snake to ask why they bit you. That's not mine. I can't take credit for that. I wish I could.
Yeah, but that's a real, you know, thinker there.
Like, in my experience, I hardly ever have gotten the closure that I wanted, or B, like, felt like would make the situation complete.
Because sometimes in that moment you do get the answers, but you're so worked up that you can't receive it properly.
Yeah.
So you might be getting it. It's just not what you wanted.
Even in the answers, I'll be like, but what? Someone could be like, I fell out of love with you and I don't like you. And I'd be like, but why? But why? But why?
Exactly.
And it's like, I always have more and more questions. And it's like, I've only ever been able to find closure within myself.
I was watching this episode of This Is Us years ago. There was a scene, I hope I'm not spoiling the show for anyone because it's been off air, I think, forever. But I stopped watching after this episode because I was so almost triggered. I forget one of the characters, he like goes to his dad's grave and he basically is like, I never got to say goodbye. And I just start bawling. I'm in the corner of the couch, hood up, bawling. And you know, it's one of those silent ones that my friend, she like just gently is like, are you okay? Like so lovingly, like, are you okay? And I realized in that moment, like, I never got a chance to say goodbye to my parents. I think one would be lucky if they were in a position to say goodbye to a loved one, and I never got that. If anything, it was like shock after shock. Completely. I never got that closure conversation of like, I love you, I'm so proud of you. I had to find that on my own. And so closure period.
I also wonder on the flip side, because I didn't really get closure either, obviously. And I wonder what it's like for somebody who has a loved one who's sick and they know that time is coming, and you might get to ask those questions and get those answers. But I also imagine that there's an entirely different aspect of the anticipation, the knowing, the like what that feels like, because it's such a vastly different experience than the one that I had. Yeah. I remember when I was told on the phone.
You think it's a joke.
Like, that's what I said. Yeah. I heard the words, he passed away, and I literally said, the first thing I thought was, what's the date? It's not April 1st. And I was like, this isn't funny. I was saying it for like 10 minutes. I was like, this isn't funny. This isn't funny. Like, stop. This isn't a funny joke. He was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, this is because of the shock of it. Absolutely. I was like, what are you talking about? This makes no sense. And I can't imagine what it's like on the other side. Yeah. Not the dead side, but you know, like someone else who like knows it's coming.
I don't know. Do you watch Summer I Turned Pretty?
No. Okay. But I feel like I should, because the Conrad, whatever his name, situation that everyone's talking about.
I am a Connie stan.
Okay.
But that's not surprising. I love
I know nothing about it, apparently. But I think that I should watch.
You should. Not me admitting to that. I mean, I just recognize my track record.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't actively seek it out. They just find me.
Awareness is power.
Thank you so much for your love and support.
Yeah, always.
Sorry if this is a spoiler, but one of the characters, the mom, has cancer. And she's preparing for her, ultimate passing. And I'm like, wow, that must be so nice to have that time to write these letters, to do these things. I didn't get that experience, and you didn't get that experience. Yeah. And so, but I think some people do get that time. And I hate to be like, grass is always greener.
I know, but it's true. The grass is always greener. Yeah. When I was the summer before my junior year of college, because I was getting ready to go abroad, I took care of this woman. She was like 44. She was so young. Her daughter was 7 and she was dying of lung cancer, which is crazy that she was never a smoker, like crazy at that age. She thought it was radon poisoning from like their radon fan wasn't turned on. Okay. She didn't know, but she put together, it was almost like packages for her daughter for every birthday with like books and like letters. And I remember her saying to me, she was like, oh my God, she's going to be so annoyed on like her 16th, 17th, 18th birthday. She's going to be like, Mom is haunting me from the grave still. And I was like, the dark humor slaps. But she was very thoughtful and intentional about all of these things that she put together, because she knew that her daughter was going to grow up without her, and she still wanted her daughter to know her. And it was like a very beautiful and very heartbreaking, soul-crushing thing to watch.
I wish like I had more pictures and videos, which is why I probably take so many fucking pictures and videos now, because I'm so scared I'll forget. And I've already forgotten parts of my time with my parents, so I have to really think like the sound of their voice and things like that. And it's been almost a decade, and I think that's sometimes sad, but also I am lucky that I have a couple of voicemails, though the one voicemail I have from my mom, she is yelling at me.
Okay, period.
And I'm like, but you know what, that kind of tracks. I'm not saying I was a bad kid. I think because I was the only kid, had I had a sibling, she would be able to pin us against each other. But I was like the worst kid if I wanted to go have a sleepover at someone's house and I need to go to church, because she wasn't even religious. She was like, you need to go to church because you're like not
she's
sinning.
Like, repent.
Yeah, sort of. And I'm like, but lady, you don't even go to church. Like, what? Oh. She was special.
Oh, I kind of love it.
Like, she was both so lovable, but also you're like, why are you insane? Yeah. And I think she probably had a little bipolar. Yeah. Very undiagnosed. We all have a little something. I'm not going to lie.
It's just neurologically spicy. That's all it is.
She was just trying to survive.
We're all just trying to survive.
I kind of want to talk about like hot takes on healing and what we did. Okay. That maybe was a bit unconventional to help us move through.
Oh, girl. I'm scared. Well, you go first.
Okay. I think So I was in therapy probably for like over a year, and I got a lot out of it, more than I thought, because I think anyone going to therapy is really skeptical.
Yeah.
And I was definitely one of those people. And then I was like, oh, I see the value, but you also have to find the right therapist, and that can be super trying.
Totally.
So I get it. But at some point, I think I kept talking, and I don't know if this was the stage of healing I was in, but I was just so angry. And I kind of ended up stopping therapy and took some time, because I do think it's great to go through therapy and also to take a break.
Yeah.
You have to like integrate it into your life. You have to sit with it. Sometimes you can't always just talk about it.
I can't take a break, but I do understand that a lot of people need one.
I'm sure at some point, maybe in a couple of years, you'll be like, I can take a step back.
Yeah. No one wants to see me without therapy.
Okay, so maybe not you then.
Yeah.
Okay. But maybe someone else. I don't know. For me,
healthier people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I went to go see a medium, and I was like, I don't know. It was like, I was skeptical. But this lady was like so on point for 80% of things, which I think is a pretty high success rate. Like, she even knew that she was like, something wasn't signed. She was like, was your dad's will not signed? And I'm like, holy guacamole. That's exactly what happened.
I mean, I love that shit though.
Yeah, but it helped me move through the energies or whatever. And since then, like, I tried another therapist that didn't last very long because we just were not a good fit. And then when I came out to LA, I kind of got into more, as one does when they move to LA, energy healing.
Yeah. No, but it's so real.
So I like started working with a Reiki healer, and she actually helped me move through a lot of stuff. And I think it's like, maybe it's placebo, who knows, but it really helped me open up.
Yeah.
And I also like, I'm a little bit more I'm more energetically sensitive, but I can be. And so that just works for me. And I'll work with my energy healers like maybe once or twice a quarter.
You're saying this like it's crazy, but it's really not.
I think also too, when you go through so much trauma, and I hate to use the word trauma, but it is, when you go through loss, it is.
Yeah.
It is. And your body goes into fight or flight.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
I don't think we realize how long we stay in that. So if energy healing helps me calm my like brain and my body, and I need to like come down to like a more grounded place, I'll fucking take it.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. I always say like, who are we to like yuck someone's yum? As long as it's not hurting somebody.
Yeah.
Who am I to be like, energy healing? Weird.
You psychopath.
Like, first of all, everybody probably who knows me knows like I could probably really benefit from energy healing myself.
I'm trying to take you to a sound bath. It's going to happen.
No, I'm so down to go to a sound bath. I really want to.
The waves for your brain.
I know.
I mean, I don't know shit about shit, but I'm like, the waves for your brain.
It sounds like it feels good in the
sure
in your brain, like a little
studies.
massage.
You were telling me there are like studies on.
Yeah, there are studies. Well, there are studies.
Period.
There are studies.
Okay, your turn.
Things that we did. I mean, I think a lot of people know already.
Oh,
but
do I know?
I mean, yeah, I took to social media really fast.
Okay, well, continue. I don't know where we're going with this.
Well, I made it all like very public.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Which a lot of people were kind of happy about, and they were like, it's helping her process, and it was helpful to other people. And then a lot of people were like, why is she like, this is so unhealthy? And I think there's a really fine line. And I think there's a time that you cross between, or that I crossed from it being helpful and helping me process to it being distraction. Healing is so raw and it can be so ugly.
Absolutely.
And I was very, very open about allowing those really, really ugly parts of healing I was really public about them, and ultimately I don't think, like, at that point it wasn't serving me anymore. It like took a toll on my mental health, and I didn't realize it because I was so honed in on the distraction. Because I just didn't want to feel. I was like, obviously, I was willing to do anything to not feel. So that was, but also I really dove into mediumship as well. And I had seen a medium once before, actually, when my mentor passed away.
Oh, wow.
So I was trying to understand. It was the first death that I dealt with in sobriety. And I remember the first medium I spoke with, I was so comforted by our session, and she had recorded it, that every day for like 2 months I fell asleep listening to the session because it was the only thing that made me feel connected to him again. But then, and I was raised, like, we know this, I'm Jewish, but I was raised pretty atheist, like to believe that there's nothing beyond this. And so my even when I get a sign or I feel something, and in that moment I'm like, I know with every atom of my being that was them, that was a sign. Within a week, 2 weeks, like I am creating a reason, like a neurological reason. I'm convincing myself that like it wasn't a real sign, you know?
Right.
Like if I'm like, okay, show me a sign for X, Y, and Z, and I'm driving and I see like a street sign, that's his name. And I'll be like, oh my God, like I've never gone this route before. Like that's crazy. And then within a week, I'll be like, well, maybe at some point I drove by that street and subconsciously I knew that I was looking for a sign. And so without realizing it, I took that route, even though I didn't remember there being anything there the first time. Like my brain will take me down that rationalization. And I read this quote and I can't remember what it was. And I wish I could look it up right now. It was something along the lines of like, rationalization is our way of making the unbelievable believable. I just was raised in a way to believe that like that shit's not real. But like my mediumship experiences, it was the same thing. And then I've had a couple sessions with this medium and she would be totally cool with me saying her name. And her name is Amy.
Okay.
And she's incredible.
Oh my God.
And she has like a 3-year wait list. Like she's like,
I need to get on that wait list.
Yeah, she's Amy Boleski. She's incredible.
Okay.
And the thing she said to me, I was like, there is no possible way anybody could ever know these things. But within a month, I was like, I must have said them at some point. But they were things that I knew I had never said. Like I was like, maybe I said this on live, but I knew I hadn't.
Right.
So it was like I convinced myself within like a month that it wasn't real.
Right.
But at the time I remember her saying things and I was like, even for me, like signs have been huge.
Yeah.
And I remember especially shortly after he died, I was asking for like a lot of signs and I got all of them, which is crazy.
See, I don't believe in signs.
Okay, let me tell you this.
Like,
I'm going to tell you 2 stories.
But you would think that I would out of the both of us.
I know.
So this is like weird that you're very...
I'm going to tell you 3 things,
Okay.
3 signs that I got.
Okay.
It was one of the first times I left my house after it happened. And I was driving and I see the license plate. Have I told you this?
No.
Oh my God. One of the first license plates I see says 14 May 23, which was the day we got engaged. And then the tags on it said October 2024, which was when we were getting married.
Joking.
No. Okay. Then I was in New York. And I went to go see a show with my dad.
Yeah.
And I had asked him to show me an alligator, which was like a pretty basic sign, but I was like, I don't know where. And I was told by Amy that you have to give them a time period. Okay. You have to be like, show me this sign within the next X days. And then you have to like kind of forget that you asked. I obviously didn't forget
because
that I
would
asked.
forget.
Now I do when I ask, but back then I wasn't. And it was the last day to like see a sign. And there's this one random scene in the show. It's totally out of alignment with the rest of the show. This kid is not in any other scene. The relationship between dad and kid is not addressed in any other scene.
Okay.
Like, daddy, I got your postcard. My favorite one has the alligator. It's hung in my room. And I felt this like energy and I started sobbing. My dad was like, the fuck is wrong with you? And in that moment, I was like, he's here. He's here. That was him. And then, you know, within however long I had convinced myself, because it was a show I'd seen once before and I knew I was going to see it. And I was like, subconsciously, I asked for that sign because I remembered that scene and I knew I was going to see it.
Right.
But that was crazy. And then the third one was I had asked, I was like, what is something I will never see? Like I would just never see. And I was like, a yellow tire. Why the fuck would I ever see a yellow tire?
That is a bit
car
odd.
tire.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, show me a yellow tire. And I'm staying in New York with a friend. And we're sitting there and we like made a fort. We're like sitting in the fort.
Cute.
And we're talking about him. And Netflix is scrolling, like the show is scrolling. And as we're talking about him, we look up and the show Tires is there and it's in yellow. The type is yellow. And we were both like,
that is absolutely
jaw
insane.
hit the floor. Again, I shortly convinced myself like, oh, I must have seen it scrolling at another time and like asked for that sign. But
in that moment, that energy you feel is different when you see those things. And I think that's what matters. Because how many times do we see certain things?
Yeah.
You know, but it's always in that moment in the energy that you're feeling that you can almost sense them.
I think the reason is because I've never stopped asking for signs since the day he died. And he's probably honestly like, please fucking leave me alone. Like I'm doing things.
Yeah, I'm out here doing.
I was about to say he's probably like, I'm living my life. Nope.
You never know.
Not that I know.
We don't know what the afterlife is.
I'm like, he's probably so annoyed and like, stop fucking asking me for signs. But I'm telling you, I've gotten almost, I would say like 95% of the signs I've asked for, I have gotten. And I don't ask for like, oh, show me a butterfly or like show me I ask for weird shit that I would never see in like ordinary life because I need that like as close to proof as I can get.
Yeah.
So even though I'm someone who really fears death still, and I really struggle with like faith and higher power stuff, I believe the signs. I've just seen too many of them. I've seen too many. I've gotten too much confirmation.
Meanwhile, like, I'm not afraid. I'm like, when my time comes, it will come. I'm trying to think. I don't ever ask for signs. And I think going back to what I was saying earlier, it's just that energy in that moment. I think this past Mother's Day, I never really get birds that hang out on my balcony. And this one mourning dove came and flew on and just hung out for a while. And, like, it was just weird because I was like, Mom?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
huh? Like, it just felt... I was like, lady, is that you? Because I'm not a big believer in signs.
Yeah.
But there have been moments where I have felt that. But what is funny is that I do feel like I'm divinely protected. I don't... It's weird.
What's that like?
I just feel like they've always got... Like, they have my back.
Yeah.
Like, I'll make mistakes and I'll do things, but I just feel safe. And, like, nothing bad could happen to me because they're looking out for me. Because I just feel like I've gone through so much. Yeah. They gotta give me something.
Yeah.
You know?
Also, that it's really true. Like, you have been through so much, you know that there's nothing that you can't handle.
I have one last hat take.
Okay.
Okay, maybe this applies more to me than it will to you.
Okay.
But I kind of get really annoyed when people go, your parents would be so proud of you. Or when someone goes, when you've lost someone, they would be so proud of you. Do you get that with your...
I guess it kind of depends on my mood, I guess. Like, if I'm being messing.
Do people say that to you, or do you get annoyed by it?
You know what? I feel like people in my family say that, and the reason it doesn't annoy me is because they knew him. I think if someone said that to me who really didn't know him, I would be like, how the fuck do you know? How would you know that? You know what I mean? But because it's people close to me who also knew him well, it doesn't bother me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, maybe because I had a complicated relationship with my parents. Again, I love them. There was respect for them, of course. You know, I think that's inherently in us since we are a product of them.
Yeah.
But I feel like who I am today, I had to climb such a steep hill to get through all the shit to be who I am today. Then I'm like, I don't know if they really had a part. I mean, maybe certain things about, like, not to say my character, because there's certain things I do see in my parents, you know, and like being really hardworking and, you know, having a certain eye for things, where like a certain intuition for things. I think they were both very gifted in their own ways, and I do think I have a little bit of that, but I don't know if they would be proud of me per se. I'm just like, because they're dead, they'd be proud. Like, I don't know. And maybe that's just me, and I still have issues and I need to see a therapist again. Like, who knows?
No, I think that's totally fair.
But also too, like, I think losing a parent versus a partner is different. And so it's like you get different, you go through different things.
And it also depends, I think, like how often they told you they were proud of you while they were here probably makes a big difference. Like, I think if you were told all the time, I'm so proud of you, it's probably easier to be like, they would be proud of me. But if you didn't hear that often.
Interesting point. Yeah. Because like my grandpa, like, he's passed, and I think he would be proud of me. Yeah. But also I think he expressed that a lot.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah. Maddie, this therapy is paying off. I'm just getting secondhand therapy.
Can you imagine how sick everyone would be if I was their therapist?
Don't say that.
Okay, here's another one of my hot takes.
Okay.
I think that it's okay for however long you want after someone passes to speak about them in present tense.
Oh.
I still speak about my late fiance in present tense a lot. And there have been people that get like really annoyed with that.
What?
I know. Or just, I don't know if it's because people find it uncomfortable. I have a really, really close friend who, and I was never mad at her for saying this. Like, it was like a conversation. This was also back in 2024, and it had been barely a year.
Right.
She was asking me about him. And, you know, I was saying like, oh my God, he gets so excited when other people win. Or like, oh my God, he's so enthusiastic. He's so this, he's so that. And she was like, do you mean he was? And I was like, no, he is.
Interesting.
And it's something that I still do it because for some reason, I think what it is when I speak about him in past tense, it makes me feel like he is no longer with me anymore. And that's not really something that I'm ready to kind of like get with yet.
I don't have an opinion on it. And I think whatever feels right to you, no one else should tell you how to go about your business.
I agree.
Unless they've gone through something. And even if they've gone through the same exact thing, you are your own person. They're their own person. Yeah. Let them live their lives. Let them do them.
Like,
what's it to you? No!
What's
it to you?
What's it to you that I'm using present tense?
Truly.
Like, why do you care?
I'm sorry.
All the people in my life that like love me and are close with me and whatever, they don't care.
They literally don't give a fuck.
Girl, why do you care?
Please. Period.
Okay, here's another hot take.
Okay.
Dark humor. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it makes people super uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I'm like, if I make a dark joke, please laugh.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to feel really fucking stupid if you don't.
Probably a good joke, to be honest.
It was probably a really good joke.
Because some of my best work is my dark humor, deadpan
dark humor
jokes.
Off the cuff. Mm-hmm. Slays.
I know. When I was really unhinged and unhealed and really going through it, the dark humor was 10 out of... It was some of my best work. And I'm sad a little bit because I have moved on. Yeah. And I've healed. Mm-hmm. That I can't go back to that. But it was... Yeah. Some of my best work. Other people might feel differently. But with us...
Please laugh.
Laugh away.
So I looked into this because I was like, is it actually helpful? Mm-hmm. Okay. There was a study by a guy, and I might butcher this. Okay. But his name is Darny Jane.
Okay.
It was published in 2025. So recent. And it looked at dark humor and like stress and coping and all that.
Okay.
And he found that there was actually, dark humor had a positive impact on emotional resilience and coping mechanisms. Mm-hmm. It didn't have any impact on actually like lowering stress levels, but it did suggest that dark humor helps us to cope and helps us to become more emotionally resilient. Mm-hmm. So it does have like a lot of indications for therapy. However, also just in everyday life, using dark humor, according to this study, helps us to be more resilient during dark times, you know?
I mean, have you seen me? I'm a resilient ass motherfucker.
You actually really are. You really are resilient.
Not to toot my own horn.
You are.
No, but I think there's something about taking a piss at yourself in anything that's just is like, you can't even use that against me because I'm the first one using that against me because I see it.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
So I don't think it has to even do with grief, just like in general.
I agree.
Dark humor.
I agree.
Humor.
Yeah. I'm the first person to be open about my story and make jokes about myself during those times.
Although sometimes it gets a little slippery because we are our thoughts.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got into a habit of only cracking dark humor jokes and self-deprecating jokes. Mm-hmm. And I didn't feel very good about myself for a period of time.
Okay.
And I think I was struggling and I was healing all that stuff. And I think in the last year, 2 years, I really focused on being more intentional with what I say because I was just kind of stuck in this cycle and I didn't know how to break out. And I'm like, something's got to change. You know, I'm trying to be better about speaking more positively and not feeding into some of the more negative thoughts and feelings.
Can I? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I like go on another little, like tell you something about that?
Absolutely.
To like validate how real that is?
Okay.
There was just a study done.
Another one?
I think it was in Japan, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
And the researchers took water.
I was just about get out
the
of my
water.
brain.
I don't know if you guys have heard this.
Yes, the water
thing. But they split the water and one of the water samples, they had people speak horribly to it. Be like, you suck, fuck you, you're disgusting, you're useless, da-da-da. And then the other sample of water, they were like, you're beautiful, you're helpful, you're all these things. And the one that they spoke poorly to, the molecular structure of it was all broken up. It was fragmented. And the one that they spoke well to was like perfectly intact.
I think, you know, it's interesting too. I hate positive affirmations. I think it's the most cringy thing. I could never...
Although they're written on my mirror. It's fine.
I was about to say I could never stand in front of my mirror. And this is not scripted, you guys. I'd rather choke on my own spit for 3 minutes.
It feels so weird.
So what I was going to say is that I found ways where like I pivot almost.
Okay.
Instead of forcing something that doesn't feel authentic and genuine to me, I will find something that may not be the whole 9 yards. That might be a quarter of a yard.
Yeah. I mean, that's...
And then, you know, and add on kind of like almost habit stacking. Just a little here and a little there and a little there and a little here. And then it gets me to that full effect. Maybe not the exact same way, but, you know, I don't know if any of that made sense.
No, it did. And I feel like I should try that method of it because for me, there are a lot of parts of myself that I love, but there are also a lot of parts of myself that I don't, and I still am like trying to reconcile with. And so sometimes when I say these things, they feel so outlandish and so out of alignment with my beliefs about myself that it's almost like
you feel like a fraud.
I feel like a fraud, and I almost it's like there's such a disconnect that I don't even feel like I'm speaking myself into believing it, because I'm just like, dude, this is fucking so stupid.
Disassociate.
Yeah,
because you're like, this is not me, so why you just disconnect. I think just lean into the things that you love about yourself and just add on to it, whether it's small, big, whatever it is. Like, just add one small thing onto it. And I think it's just you keep adding, and you look up and you're like, oh, whoa. I don't know. I mean, what the fuck do I know? You know,
more than I do. I mean, look at how grounded you are and how grounded I am. I feel like I'll listen to any advice you have.
Depends on the day and where the moon is, sister,
and what my period's doing. Yeah.
Okay, guys, it's time.
Joy of the week.
Okay. I feel like this week was a bit of a weird week for me.
Okay.
A little somber. It was my dad's birthday, so always a weird one. Yeah. But I think I'll go with, I got more sales this week for my company brand, Baby G's Club. Yes, I'm plugging myself. And that was really exciting because it's been really slow. And sometimes when things are really slow, when you're starting your own business, you're just kind of, you feel discouraged and you start questioning everything, the spirals. And so it was nice to get a little bit more momentum again. So
I
that's
love
exciting. That was a win for me.
That's so exciting. That's a huge win.
Thank you.
That's amazing. That's a good joy in a hard week. I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, your turn.
I wouldn't really call this a joy,
Okay.
but it did make me laugh really hard.
Slay.
Cerberus, the dog, the Doberman. He was like getting off the bed and he put his front legs down first and did that stretch that they do when they want to play. And right as he went down, he farted, like in that position. And I laughed so hard and was like, you disgusting beast.
It's one of those moments because animals are so funny.
They're so funny.
And
This is not the first time. I mean, this is actually a pretty like regular
occurrence
for him.
Farts in your face.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a gassy one. My dogs never do.
But you're kind of gassy too. You just burp a lot.
I burp a lot.
So
I know.
it tracks there.
I don't know what that's about. I think that it's the demons that live in my body, and they have to like make themselves known, and then they want to scream, and so then they come out and they scream through my burps, and I think it's the demons that live inside me.
I feel like you burp very gracefully. Because you do it very with like confidence and you're so unapologetic about it. You just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, those are our joys of the week.
That was it. Thanks, guys.